The Ontario Petroleum Contractors Association is a non-profit association of member companies promoting the highest standards of quality, safety, and environmental protection for all types of installations and modifications of petroleum systems. Providing a unified voice for active and associate members, the OPCA supports their members with respect to regulation and legislation of the petroleum industry. The OPCA is supported by approximately 140 member companies, comprising largely of petroleum contractors and service companies, as well as a number of industry manufacturers, distributors, and training providers. Members are represented throughout Ontario, from Ingleside to Windsor and as far north to Thunder Bay, as well as several members in Alberta, Manitoba, Quebec, and New Brunswick. Year after year, as the industry evolves, we see some member companies merging together and some member companies retiring after more than a generation in business. We also see new companies emerging into the industry, bringing new membership and fresh perspectives to the association. The OPCA is also a member of the Canadian Petroleum Contractors Association, representing members on a national level, along with fellow associations from British Columbia, Alberta, Saskatchewan, Manitoba, and Quebec, showing that while contractors in Ontario deal with issues specific to this province, we have common ground with our fellow members across Canada. The OPCA represents members in industry on a number of regulatory groups and committees, such as the Technical Standards and Safety Authority, ULC, National Research Council, and CCME. OPCA board members are committed to volunteering their time and expertise, providing valuable input on industry-related issues, assisting with development of new requirements, and updating existing codes and regulations. We bring additional benefits to our members through our financial and insurance partnerships. National Bank Financial provides members with programs for group benefits and financial planning. And for over 20 years, Canada BrokerLink has provided members with programs for auto, general, and environmental liability insurance, offering competitive rates for members, as well as launching their new program last year offering personal insurance for members and their employees. We are grateful to both for their continued service to OPCA and its members. The members and board are supported by OPCA staff at their office located in Barrie. Our team is responsible for the day-to-day operations as well as implementing and deploying OPCA initiatives and managing OPCA's petroleum mechanic and petroleum-oriented safety training programs. Our team is also dedicated in providing excellent customer service and support to members and their employees, whether it's helping members deal with a regulatory issue, guiding them through certification requirements, training program enrollment, or even helping someone find a certified contractor in their area. We also provide technical support for all of OPCA's online platforms and manage OPCA's online presence, including their websites and online newsletters. The OPCA continues to be the leading source for industry-related education. To date, the OPCA has invested hundreds of thousands of dollars toward our training programs. Our petroleum mechanic program, for instance, incorporates the latest in e-learning to provide a more dynamic learning experience. We provide a blended learning program for our students, incorporating traditional training methods and in-class instruction with experienced instructors with the latest online learning tools. Our learning website guides our students while they study with online quizzes and video tutorials. Our online tutorials show contractors working on real-time installations, so our students gain a sense of what will be expected of them in the field. Our e-learning platform opens up exciting possibilities for continued growth of our training programs.
Petroleum mechanic training is very important to our industry because it's a very niche trade that doesn't really fit in with any of the other more classic trades that are out there, and we are dealing with a substance that is highly flammable, explosive, so we're kind of unique as opposed to the natural gas and propane fuels that every leak there causes a major explosion usually. Ours can be long-term devastating to the environment. So in order to create training very specific for what we do is why the OPCA got involved as a membership to do something very specific to underground and above ground tanks, piping, and petroleum transfer systems. And I think we've come a long ways in the last 20 years, incredibly long ways, compared to when I first got in the industry, and everywhere we went and dug, we found contamination in the ground. Now we dig stuff up that we've put in 25 years ago, based on a lot of the learnings we got in our training, and we find the sites are still as clean as they were when we started.
We hold in-class review sessions several times throughout the year and have skilled and knowledgeable instructors that assist with our classroom training. The OPCA appreciates their time, commitment, and dedication they put into our training programs. Our instructors hold down their own full-time jobs and fit instructing classes into their busy schedules. They also help us with material reviews and suggest any revisions and updates that are needed, and our students respond to them because they can relate to their own experiences on the job site.
Our training was the primary reason our association was formed, because we're such a niche industry and is really the cornerstone of the OPCA. With a lot of us having mobile workforces spread all over the place, we can't always come to one central venue. So being able to access stuff remotely and do the training that way is vitally important to us. Generators are becoming a huge part of everyday life. Many people have them in their homes, but when it comes to security and hospitals and data, generators are massive systems, and what's different from them from our typical fuel systems that we deal with is most of them are located inside buildings, so fire becomes a big deal having these flammable products inside. I think the biggest problem is there's a major gap in the training right now. Oil burner technicians are more on heating type systems. Our petroleum mechanics are more on getting fuel into vehicles and motive vehicles, where these stationary systems that are typically inside buildings, they've fallen in between, and it's even more critical because they are inside buildings, because they're servicing life safety systems, national security systems, major data centers. It's a gap that definitely we need to address, and that's what we're hoping to do with this program, and present it to industry and to government and to the regulators and say, here, there's nothing available right now. Here is a program that we've developed, readily available, to try and push acceptance of that program and recognition within the safety community.
Another significant milestone for the OPCA has been the Petroleum-Oriented Safety Training Program. POST was created with contractors working in the petroleum industry, giving them the convenience of following one consistent safety standard when working on petroleum sites. Many contractors tell us POST has enhanced their company's safety program, ensuring their workers are protected in the best possible way.
POST has definitely evolved a long ways from initially when we made the first calls to the oil companies to ask them to come on board to come up with one amalgamated safety program that everybody falls under. Back then it was still very much pushed by the oil companies. You want to work for us, you have to follow this and this procedure. Whereas now we're not seeing the oil companies pushing it as much anymore, as we're all working for smaller independents, but we see many of our members still following it because they've realized it is a great program. It more than meets all the basic requirements. It can be fairly easily followed, and having the OPCA running the training redeveloping it every year. It's a huge benefit for all of us to not have to do that as individual companies. To see Post still flourishing without it being financially driven goes to show how great of a program it is to be able to withstand that in this industry. Is incredible. So it's, I believe, here to stay. I don't see it changing for a long time, and I see more and more companies adopting it as we see other industries are coming to us asking, what are you guys doing? We've heard about Post. Other countries have heard it through major oil companies and approached us, and the program works. And even Ministry of Labor, when they come on site and do investigations and spot checks on our sites, they even say, wow, this is fantastic to see all this documentation and everything in place. So I think it's a phenomenal program, and personally I won't change from it within our own company, even though we do very little work where our customers require us to follow Post. It's just what we need to do for everyday business nowadays. It's become part of our safety and our culture here.
Post is now widely used across Canada, with thousands of companies adopting Post safety standards. In the last few years alone, Post has encompassed an average of 17,000 workers, representing almost 4,000 companies in every province and territory across Canada. Post has grown into a safety culture that has surpassed all expectations for our industry and provides 2 levels of online training, plus industry-specific safety tools and resources, including our newest Post app and mobile forms feature that helps contractors organize their Post documents. We are also proud to host an annual Post Safety Forum with a variety of speakers discussing many issues relevant to our industry, such as working at heights or how supervisors can better engage workers when it comes to safety. We have also held real-time safety engagement surveys that have provided some positive insight on everyone's commitment to safety. We also encourage members to share these presentations with their own staff to promote a better safety culture in their workplace. We also have many volunteers representing both industry and oil companies who participate on the Post Advisory Committee. The committee meets several times throughout the year and has ongoing discussions on Post safety requirements, aligning ideas with requirements across Canada, as well as working on improving current safety processes. Our continuing investment in Post and supporting these safety initiatives helps meet our objective to have a safety program that meets or exceeds the minimum expectations of regulations for our industry across Canada. In keeping with the spirit of promoting a positive safety culture in our industry, the OPCA now hosts an annual golf tournament each fall, with proceeds supporting the Threads of Life organization. Threads of Life brings hope and healing to Canadian families who have been affected by workplace fatality, life-altering injury, or occupational disease. It is a national charity connecting more than 2,700 family members through one-on-one peer support, links to community support services, and the opportunity to take action to help prevent similar tragedies to other families. The OPCA is proud to be a sponsor of such an important organization, and with our member support, is thrilled to have raised over $30,000 to date through our events. Our members know the importance of working together and the sense of community being part of an organization brings. The OPCA board works hard to ensure members' voices are heard and appreciates their continued support. We are proud to continue to serve the industry and are excited to see what is ahead. Thank you for your continued support.